What is up, fellow scrubs? This is your scrub host, Solaris X. I am here to cast another Scrubcast. This is a Complexity Gaming versus Digital Chaos. This is I think this is Game 5 of the TI6 US Qualifiers. Actually, I think it's the American Qualifiers. I don't think it's US, it's American Qualifiers. I think everybody, though, was basically, I don't know, there's probably a few non-US teams there. But anyway, this is International 2016 Qualifiers, and what an epic game this was. I watched this game. I watched the highlights to this game. I spent a great deal of time thinking about what I wanted to cast about this game. I could have cast any of these heroes because all of these heroes did amazing things the entire game, with save perhaps the example of Swindles, who, as I talked about in a previous game, I think threw this game a number of times against Complexity's favor, in the favor of Digital Chaos, but that's up to Swindles to decide whether he thinks that's the case and play differently next time. But there's a number of, I wanted to cast Faceless Void, the Resolution Faceless Void. I wanted to cast the Weehaw Death Prophet. Both did really, really good jobs, and I was having trouble deciding which one to cast, and then I kind of was thinking, was there anybody else to cast? And I went back through the footage, and I kept realizing that one person seemed to be doing a whole lot of work, but not getting the credit for it. And this is this is kind of my little shtick. I kind of I don't know. I talk about the little guy. I talk about the supports, the lowly supports, and the things that you can play, be a really good player on. And even though you don't get a lot of credit, you do a lot of work. And this game, probably one of the chief reasons why Digital Chaos finally pulled out this victory was Lion. This is MiSeRy Lion, and MiSeRy Lion is like a thing. I've already cast Lion, a Scrubcast online, and I've already cast I think one on MiSeRy as well. I think I can't remember what hero he played when I did my cast, but last time I cast a Pile I Die Lion, and it was a terrible Pile I Die Lion. It was a terrible example because he kept losing. This was a secret game, and he just was not doing very well. He is known for his Lion, but in this case, MiSeRy is also known for his Lion, and Digital Chaos pulling out this Game 5 victory in large part because of the work that MiSeRy's Lion did. This is an amazing game. I encourage you to watch it if you haven't seen it before. Go ahead and give it a watch. There's a number of YouTube videos you can watch, get some good casting for it. But my goal is not to cast this entire game like some kind of professional caster. I don't have that talent quite yet. I'm working on it. But my goal is to follow one hero, to basically recognize that I'm a scrub, and if you're watching this, you're probably a scrub too, and you're probably not very good, and you want to get better at Dota, so we need to figure out how to do that. And one of the best ways of doing that is to watch really good players play these heroes, and not just during the highlights. Like, you can watch these highlights and have no idea how to play this hero. That's something that I kind of rail against. So I think you should watch this hero from the very beginning to the very end. All of the movements, all of the decisions, every little thing that adds up to a complete performance. Why did he do this? Why did he do that? I'm going to be figuring this out right alongside with you. I'm going to do this to make myself better, and you might as well watch right alongside with me. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on player perspective. We're going to watch this MiSeRy Lion here. By the way, just to set this game up, Complexity pulled out. Really nasty IO Tiny combination, and they added an axe to it. And again, I think this was played by anybody other than Swindles this game. If MiSeRy was playing the axe, I bet you MiSeRy would have probably done a better job. I just do not think Swindles did a very good job on axe in the last couple games, in this series at least. Winter Wyvern did Winter Wyvern did a very good job. Invoker mid. So this was a pretty nasty lineup, and Digital Chaos went with not a high damage dealing lineup. Kind of interesting to see, and you're going up against a Tiny and Axe, saving Winter Wyvern with the heal, and an Invoker with all kinds of health and armor and whatnot. How are you going to kill him with this lineup? So this is fascinating to see. You got a Beastmaster for great vision, and Phoenix and Faceless Void for great control and AoE damage, but is that going to be enough? And the Death Prophet's ultimate's really great, but what do you do when that's down? Relocate ganks are going to be nasty. Death Prophet gets locked down. Somebody's going to have a Blade Mail, and they're going to be able to just destroy Death Prophet. And then there's Lion. Little old Lion. We'll see what he does to help win this game. It's a long game, so strap yourselves in. press pause, go use the restroom, get yourself a beer, whatever the hell you do to prepare to watch a game and get better. Put it on the big screen. I hope you have a big screen television. Everybody in this world deserves a big screen television. I'm convinced. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start here. Lion starts off with TP. TP's got some tangos, Reservoir and Sentry Ward, and boots. He wants to have fast move and speed. The question is, where is he going to be in this game? He's going to ward up there. Oh, that's interesting. That's going to block that creep camp, and they're not going to be able to detect it very easily. So he goes up there, TPs, blocks that creep camp, maybe gets a little vision, just a sliver of vision to see if somebody walks by. I'm not sure that's the point, though. Point is probably just to block off that camp. You know, he starts off with boots, and it looks like I'm sure he's going to be safe lane with not resolution. Yeah, who wears the resolution? I guess that's going to be a safe lane Void, going to be a carry Void. And then you've got the Phoenix. And by the way, I say all this like I haven't just watched it. I just watched this stupid game. But that's another example of if you watch a highlight video, you have no idea where these players were. You have no idea what the setups were. You have no idea. So here's how we're going to see it. So from the very beginning, each step, each decision. So MiSeRy, all 5 of them down here by this bottom rune, and they're looking up there to see what's going on. They're looking up toward that vision, so that was a very useful ward at the very least to see what's going on up there. And it's like MiSeRy's thinking about warding up down here somewhere. He was pretty close to doing it at one of these camps, but then he blocked that camp off. So maybe he's waiting to see if he gets information where the enemies are and what they're going to be doing. So it looks like it was a 5-man protect on each of these runes. MiSeRy's still kind of waddling around here. And so he's going to be, it looks like Soxa's going to be bottom. No way. No way. That is going to be an offlane. Okay, so it's an offlane Beastmaster. It's going to be I guess some kind of roaming Phoenix, which is odd. I don't know if I've ever seen that. MiSeRy is going to be sitting here. Is he going to pull this? Is he going to pull the? I don't know what he would do that for. What's he doing? What you doing there, MiSeRy? Staying around? You going to stack? Is that what you're going to do? I think you're going to stack, aren't you? I think that's why you're down here the whole time. Because you're going to be able to counter a counter ward in case they were going to try to prevent you from stacking this. You're going to be able to stack this so that you can then pull these creeps over here and then prevent the creep wave from going up to that tower. I see what you're doing. I see what you're up to. Here it is. Oh, see it? See it? I saw it. Did you see it? So, MiSeRy... Now he's got 2 creep waves, and there's nobody here. And I think that's because the enemy is afraid of a Phoenix and the Lion and Void. Void's going to have the ability to slow, or not slow, but to prevent the enemies from using their cooldowns so that you have an escape. They're not going to be able to do anything with it. Now, you know, Swindles is the one that potentially would be down here with the Axe. He's not going to have an IO because IO is going to be with Tiny, so Swindles isn't going to be down here in this lane because he's going to be just killed. Although you've seen plenty of Axes just come in here and bully their way around and just kill everybody and just do a tremendous amount of damage. And I don't think Resolution can stop that even with the time dilation. So MiSeRy TPing away, he's actually going to go top, and I guess that's because top lane is going to be at the tower. He wants to prevent any damage to this tower and soak up any XP. Looks like the Beastmaster is actually going to be, what, jungling? Yeah, Iron Talon jungling, I guess. Also afraid of what's going on here. Both teams are very afraid of their of the off lane. And I guess you got, is that tiny mid? Yeah, it's going to be a tiny mid. I don't see an IO. So it's like Chessie's going to be farming over here in the off lane. Chessie plus what? Potentially an Axe with a call. But he's going to have to, Axe is going to have to get pretty close to get a call off. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But there is a Winter Wyvern, and we just saw, at least I just cast a game with Winter Wyvern, and the Arctic Burn damage is real. The Splinter Blast slow is real. There's Resolution getting a nice Earth Spike on Chessie, doing a little damage when Chessie was in just a little bit out of position. The creep wave is approaching him, and to get a little extra damage, the Lion on Chessie, the Lion Earth Spiked right into Chessie as the creep wave was approaching Chessie, thus guaranteeing the Earth Spike damage, a little bit of damage from MiSeRy's right click, and a little bit of damage from those creep right clicks. So just maximizing the damage he does with one little spell. And he has the mana burn. He got the level 2. So he's sitting in the off lane now. Now, I would think that Resolution, he'd be sitting with Resolution, but this is a good example of how you rotate a hero when you don't need a safe lane support. You already have a Phoenix down there in the safe lane. But it's also interesting because normally you see an off lane Phoenix. You don't see an off lane Lion. And maybe the reasoning here is the Phoenix is what? I don't know what's going to be able to provide. Phoenix is going to be able to just basically stack. He's not going to give any levels, which is unfortunate. Maybe the idea is that MiSeRy is going to provide better control early game. The Phoenix is going to provide damage, but really maybe what they need at early game is control, and if you have high levels of Earth Spike and high levels of Hex, that's going to be able to do that. MiSeRy has that ward up there in the jungle, so he is using that to his advantage. So if he's going to pay very, very close attention. Okay, sees enemy coming in right now. He's moving out right now. There you go. So that ward was being used, and I guess he saw the enemy go back. Now he's just curious, see what's going on. Definitely a creep camp pull there. Or at least try it. Attempt to creep camp pull. You can see the missing trees. Somebody tried to pull it on the backside, but that didn't work out. There's probably an axe out there doing something. Because Chesty's up here in this lane. Io's probably the tiny mid lane. And Winter Wyvern? Where's Winter Wyvern? That's a good question. Where is Winter Wyvern? I can cheat. They can't do. Another Forge Spirit back. Can't kill it, MiSeRy. Sorry. You're going to use an Earthspike to get that thing. He's not last hitting the creeps. He's last hitting that, and I guess that's good. You try to even up the HP on all these so you can get an Earth Spike and get a little bit of extra help. There it is. And he hits Chessie at the same time. Nice little lineup there, MiSeRy. Very well done. You gonna kill the Forge Spirit? Hey, you got a Forge Spirit. That's 41 gold. Good job. So we got 2 or 3 creeps stunned. You got 2 gold off of that. Hit Chessie, ended up getting the Forge Spirit. That's pretty good. He's getting his levels. He's level 5 already. He's gonna have the Blow. I call it the Blow. It's the Finger of Death. Massive amount of damage. 600 damage for Chessie. That's going to hurt. It's going to hurt for anybody. Keep in mind, I think a Terrorblade at this level of the game has less health than that overall. Less health overall. So Lion going with, oh, I didn't know you could mana drain a Forge Spirit. That's interesting. So that's kind of a interesting combination there. It looks like Resolution going on Siegfried over there with his first Chronosphere. That's going to Saxa going to get the first blood of the Phoenix. So that works out there. That's not bad. That was a nice lane for them, and they're actually way up in the jungle using a ward to be able to help out that gank. MiSeRy up here farming in the off lane. Not as exciting, I know, not right now, but Weehaw setting up a kill on Hanskin, Resolution double teaming that. I think MiSeRy's not even paying attention. MiSeRy's just over there looking to see what's going on. He's deciding whether he wants to TP in. Of course, the call from his friends is going to be whether he TPs in. And so right now, Complexity down 1 kill. They lost their IO, so they're going to lose their Tiny as well. So yes, this is a game where DC start off ahead. MiSeRy not part of the action right away, but I think part of the lesson learned here is, you know, hey, he's still up in this lane. He's getting experience. He's got a Finger of Death. He's setting up for the next kill. Resolution is going to die. I remember watching that in the video. And whack. There it is. So MiSeRy doesn't have a ward. He has 1,100 gold. He might get a Hand of Midas. I don't know. He's going to set up the Earth Spike. Blow onto Chessie. Mew going to just walk in and blow up Chessie. That is a sad Chessie. MiSeRy is going to get killed by the burst damage from Limp. Tiny Lift plus the Tiny Avalanche equals a dead MiSeRy. He needs the Mana Drain and the Chankle Boots. That's it. Gets a Sentry Ward. He is a Ward Bitch. I cast a lot of Ward Bitches because I think Ward Bitches are underappreciated. And I think people need to realize just how important it is to be able to buy wards, set up kills and pushes, and taking objectives around the map, but also showing that these heroes can do really great things. Okay, so MiSeRy pops down the Sentry Ward, actually it's Observer Ward, and somebody else immediately pops down the Sentry Ward. So he's going to be able to see that. He's a little scared about going over there, I think. He's a little worried about, I think, maybe a enemy over there. So he points out the fact that it's over there. Now he's finally going to go take it out. So that's interesting. He did not immediately go over there. He waited to see whether there was going to be some initiation on him. Then he went over there. Nice little note to self there. Don't just give people, don't be so predictable in what you're going to do. At least maybe wait out, see what's going on. MiSeRy sitting behind Weehaw here, going to help push this. Weehaw's going to cast the ultimate there. It's going to have all those little critters running around. Exorcism running around. MiSeRy pops in, gets the additional stun damage and stun duration on Earth Spike onto the Winter Wyvern. Going to get a kill. Winter Wyvern So the Exorcism going to do a decent amount of damage to this tower. Looks like they're going to end up getting a tower kill next to Moo and the 2 boars. And MiSeRy not participating because right-click damage not so good. He needs more of a counter-initiation hero. And if he gets caught in some kind of nasty AoE burst, he does not want to be the one to be caught. He is not going to be able to participate in the counter-initiation, not going to be able to save his teammates with the Earth Spike and the Hex, and potentially Finger of Death. So he's got the Sentry Ward. Curious to see where he's going to deward next. Maybe go up near this tower and try to deward up there. Limp, because he knows if the Limp is pushing that tower, there's very likely a chance. Although Limp did escape pretty quickly, there's very likely a chance that there's a ward somewhere in this area to help Limp know that there's nobody in the area. So maybe he's going to use that. Meanwhile, MiSeRy he's just chilling up there. He's looking to go for the Blink Dagger next. He's a pretty rich Lion. Focusing on his last hits. And, oh, misses that one. He's going to get that one. We'll get hit 2 hits. That's all you need. Nope, not going to get that one. It's hard. Hard to hit under the tower when you have so little damage. Well, he starts off, well, he got 71 damage. Not the worst in the world, but not, it's pretty crappy. And his attack animation's pretty junky, too. He's going to go ahead and grab the Illusion Rune. What's he going to do with it? It's always a question. I just kind of always send him on a little scouting mission to see what's going on. He's going to come down here. He's going to bring all 3 of them. I guess he's probably going to help counter this push, maybe? First, he's going to steal some mana. Kind of shake these guys around a little bit. Anybody paying attention would know which one's MiSeRy. He's just going to help push this lane. Every little bit of damage to help push the lane. Get it back across the river, then he can retreat and do something else with these illusions. Okay, doesn't get the last hit. He probably wanted that last hit. Going to use the illusions to just push in. Just kind of like the junk I would do. So good to know that I'm not, even though I am a terrible player, that I don't, some of the things I do is not the stupidest, not the worst ideas in the world. So you go ahead and crosses the river here now that he has the Phoenix on the other side with him. That's the Soxa on the Phoenix. I just covered Soxa as I went to Rivered, actually. So what's MiSeRy doing here? He's chilling mid. He's actually away from where all his friends are. And, they don't really care too much, I think, if he dies, because if he dies, the enemy know, or his teammates know where the enemy is, and they can at least push the tower to counter-initiate. So there is a potential gank going on here, or at least a team fight started by Weehaw. Using that Siphon, Spirit Siphon. MiSeRy close to that Blink Dagger, probably another reason why he's not up there in part of the team fight. Wants to be able to get that Blink Dagger. Very, very close. His teammates want to push, though. So this is potentially dangerous. He sees guy mid, he sees the guy bottom, so I guess that's the cue for the team up top to push now. Still sees 2 guys mid at this point. He's got another guy bottom, so his teammates are going to stay up there. That's danger for Complexity. Complexity's at risk. So Lion made his way top. He TP'd top. I think he TP'd as soon as he saw the team fight was out breaking out. He's coming over here. I think he saw the IO over here, so he's going to Earth Spike, try to get the IO. Okay, he does get the IO, but the IO actually teleports out. Limp is the one remaining. He is in danger of getting killed here. Instant Hex. He's going to steal some mana. Is he going to blow him up? Turn around? Turn him up? Blow. Dead.
Here you.
And that's efficiency, folks. 70 health, 70 mana. He had basically nothing left. He almost gets ganked. He went after the IO on the back lines, forced the IO to relocate out. Limp was still, or actually the IO may have just, his relocate out must have been fading. Either the relocate came back or he used the relocate to escape. I'm not really sure which one was which, but he did get the Earth Spike on him to force that out. And then as soon as IO came in, Tiny came in, he hexed Tiny like instantaneously. He must have been like click, 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 or maybe like shift click maybe. You could probably have done that, and that would have queued up the hex. Really smart move, a really good tactical move there by Lion. Immediately mana drains and then just starts running away. His teammates, Moo comes in, I believe, on the Beastmaster. Primal screams, the Primal roars, the Tiny, and then ends up getting Tiny. You just Finger of Death Tiny there. He's going to put it way up there, and that's much better. I actually almost always go on the right side, and that's risky when the creep wave is down here, because then you just expose yourself to a gank. You have no idea what's going on up there. Walk through to Roshan. Better solution. Currently has no mana, no wards. I'm sure he'll buy some as soon as he sees it. sees an opportunity to do so. He's got pretty good vision across the map. He's got 3 wards up. He's got a ward in the top lane to see what's going on top. He's got a ward in mid lane to see what's going on mid tower. He's got a ward over here by Roshan to see what's going on for this tower push. He's got great vision. He's in a position on the other side of the woods to be able to counter-initiate, to help out. Who was that? It was Resolution on the Void. In case Void needed to come in Chronosphere, Lion would have been able to go in and he would have been able to help out with the Earth Spike and a little bit of a mana drain. He doesn't have the Belial factor. He will in about 40 seconds. So he blinks in, gets the Illusion Rune. He's going to probably, he even draws a line. I guess, you know, I always kind of wonder what they do when they mean that. Hey, cross the river? Is that what he means? Cross the river? I don't know what that means. But he's going to use his invisibility here. Swindles is going to be caught out. Swindles, nope. There's a Blink Dagger into a Hex, into an Earth Spike, and they are staying away from Swindles. Swindles is not going to be in range to be able to do his swing damage. So that was a setup there by MiSeRy. Swindles died because he was out of position. They have no wards potential in this area. Yep, they had no vision. He was out of vision. MiSeRy again with the Earth Spike. Didn't have the Hex up here, but they didn't need that. They're going to be able to get the kill anyway. So, you know, just helping out with these kills by Earth Spiking and Hexing whenever possible. He did a nice chain combination there on the Axe. His Earth Spike is up to 2.6 seconds stun. His Hex is 2.5. So altogether, he's going to have about, if he does it perfectly, he's going to have about 5 seconds worth of stun time. That's going to be very nice. He's sitting back in the back lines. He doesn't want to be the guy who gets initiated on like that right there, because there's going to be the counter initiation. Earth Spike into a Chronosphere. He's going to have to drain some mana from Swindles here to be able to Hex. Is he going to Hex? Is he going to Hex? He hexed somebody. I mean, I guess he really hexed Swindles. Not really sure what was going on there. Earth Spike into 2. He's looking for a 3 there. He goes ahead and blinks out. He's going to TP away. Yeah, just get the heck out. Don't give Axe those kills. Don't give anybody additional kills. Complexity down by 6 kills total, but this is a kind of a lineup that can come back very easily. Very tiny IO is a very scary base pushing combo. So he, you know, he can see he's kind of scouting around the periphery. He's letting the fight start, and then he comes in. He does not want to be the initiator. I guess if he does want to be the initiator when he knows somebody's isolated. He's definitely an initiation for a gank. He is definitely not an initiation for a team fight. So we'll see. Idai's going to go after Chessie here. He doesn't know what's behind Chessie. Blinks in. Nope. And there's the Winter Wyvern right there. There's a mistake. At least I wouldn't have done that, because now he is going to die. He's not going to be able to escape. So that's a perfect example. He did not know what was behind Chessie. He probably shouldn't have done that. I guess he trusts his teammates are going to be able to follow up and protect him. But the problem is that he was split up. His teammates were split up. And all of Complexity would have been able to pummel any potential blind Chronosphere on the part of Resolution. So I'm learning. I wouldn't have done that. But then again, that was not maybe an opportunity that I didn't see, and maybe if I were as good as somebody like MiSeRy and as fast on the hexes or whatnot, maybe they would have been able to turn that. They'd probably have been able to do it before. So here's an example of something I don't understand. He gets a pack of infused raindrops. Now, let's just look at the infused raindrops here. Okay, it starts as a 5 count. It blocks 120. One charge blocks 120 magic damage from damage instances over 50 damage. So if he takes magic damage over 50, it blocks 120 of that. It's like a little shield, like a temporary little magic shield. Comes with 5 charges. The charges are gone and disappear. Now it does come with mana regen, which is nice. He has been having mana problems. And the question is why? What's he using this for? And MiSeRy comes in, blinks in just a second too late there on the TP, on the Earth Spike to get the TP, but he close, very, very close. Probably a quarter of a second too late there. Maybe if he had the Hex first, he might have had the Hex up, but Hex also might have been out of range. I'm going to put a ward up here to see, make cover the smoke, make sure that the smoke doesn't take care of. He just kind of casually throws that out there. Maybe I would have thought of a better place to put it, but then again, they wanted to smoke immediately, and they wanted to go into Roshan. No time to spare. I guess maybe the Avalanche magic damage is what this protects, because Avalanche, I believe, is magic damage. Yeah, so that's Avalanche, and it does instances of damages. Instances of damages from what I can tell. So it's going to block half of that damage, almost half of that damage. That's pretty good. And so here's a Roshan attempt. He actually smokes in, and he actually comes back out because he wants, again, to be the counter initiation. If there's some kind of crazy AoE initiation here, you got the Invoker and AoE initiation, the Winter's Curse. You've got the Avalanche stun, the call from the Axe. That's a lot of control and AoE. Yeah, he needs to be able to stay out of that so he can counter-initiate with potentially will be equivalent to a Ravage. He's going to TP into this bottom tower because the team fight breaks out. He first is going to get Deafening Blast, even though he's taking a little bit of mana drain from the Invoker, which is a good thing to do. He's going to get trapped here by a Blink Toss, surprise Blink Toss from the Axe and Limp on the Avalanche, with the Avalanche. Actually, not the Avalanche, just the Toss. Tosses Weehaw. Limp's going to get a kill here. Axe going to get a kill. Actually, somehow, did Weehaw escape? Oh, no. Weehaw had the Aegis, okay? And there's a dead Phoenix. Weehaw trying to stay in this fight, but he's gonna have to get out. He's gonna use the Soul Siphon on Swindles, but he's gonna get called. The Blade Mail damage is real onto Weehaw. Limp plus a Sunstrike is gonna be death to Weehaw. Unfortunate for Weehaw, unfortunate for DC. Moo, the only one left standing. Complexity taking charge here. At least Weehaw did kill Swindles. Once again, Swindles, I'm just going to point out every time that Swindles dies when he shouldn't. But then again, Swindles worth much less than Weehaw. Probably a really good trade for them. They were behind, so they really need this, because they're going to get the tower out of it too. So, MiSeRy out of that fight, he was in the back lines, but that's one of the benefits of having a IO Tiny who can just blink in. And if IO Tiny, basically Tiny blinked in at the same time Axe blinked in, is he going to be able to get a kill? Is he going to kill him? Is he going to kill Little Bird? Gonna kill him? I don't kill Little Bird. Oh, that's his bird. Why would he kill his own bird? That's just terrible. So there you go. See, that's the example of why I'm a scrub, because I come in here and I'm like, oh, it's a bird, kill it, and it's my own bird. Okay, so Diffuse Raindrop blocking a little bit of that damage from Complexity, but not going to be enough. It's a decent damage block. It's going to block enough more damage. It's going to be better than I guess just having a slight amount of additional health. It's like having 120 additional health per magic instance. It's going to last a little while. And if he's being careful and he doesn't get constantly initiated on, it's not going to go away that much. And then it retains his additional bit of mana regen, so that's nice. So he stays in the back line. He really wants to be able to counter. He does not want to get blinked on, called again. Tossed, called. That's not a combination he wants to suffer here. Weehaw sitting in the front lines, just going to chip away at this tower. This is perfectly fine for Complexity. They're perfectly ready for this. Anybody goes on Weehaw, Resolution jumps in, and they're going to be jumping in and Chronosphering. So Complexity just avoids the fight. They're going to come down here at the bottom. They're going to push bottom. They're going to keep the lanes pushed in mid there if possible. They are going to be able to get this. MiSeRy kind of walking in here into danger, kind of scary, because as soon as he stays out of the blink range, he was setting up potentially to be able to do something if the enemies were to leave, but that's not going to happen. He needs to stay out, and plenty of scrub, I think, Lions that have gone all the way up there and be like, oh, look, I'm going to go help defend the, and get squished, by 5 heroes who blink in all at once, and then totally crush him, and then he's down for the 20 seconds. He loses gold, potentially. He's got 1,100 gold. He's probably going to go for some kind of utility item here next. We'll see. A lot of there's pure damage on the Axe. There's going to be, I think there's some pure damage coming out on the Invoker. We've got a really nasty ult coming from Winter's Curse. He might end up getting, he's going to be on the periphery. He might be getting a Glimmer Cape. He might get a Force Staff. What's he going to get? What are you going to get? I think that might be a Force Staff, folks. It's the beginning of a Force Staff. Picks up the Staff of Wizardry. It's a good start. Force Staff, a good setup for him. He'd like to have a lot of mana out there. Big mana pool so he can cast all the spells over and over and over again. Doesn't have to constantly mana drain to be able to keep his spells up. He's focusing on that early on. Got the Magic Wand. He's got the Infused Raindrops. He's got the Staff of Wizardry to increase the total mana pool, Intellect, and a little bit of mana regen. Oh, MiSeRy drawing the line. Is MiSeRy captain? I didn't know MiSeRy would be captain. I guess maybe he is. Oh, he blinks in. I didn't even see that. He blinks onto Z-Freak. Goes ahead, hexes up Z-Freak, and then gets the Earth Spike, but then gets pummeled. So that's yet another example of why you don't blink in when you don't know what's behind somebody. And then a nice Chronosphere, but that gets countered by a Winter's Curse. And then there's the Phoenix in the background doing a ridiculous amount of damage to Limp and healing Weehaw at the same time he was soul siphoning. Swindle Melon's going to get killed. Swindle Melon's going to get killed. Weehaw going to go in here and hopefully get... It's going to go ahead and get the Yule Scepter on top of a TPing Z-Freak, Winter Wyvern, who's going to die. And all that set up initially by MiSeRy. Now, I probably wouldn't have done that, and that's another example of where you really have to trust your teammates sometimes. I would have never done that because I did not know what was behind all those people. I saw an opportunity, but it could be a bait. And if I'm the one blinking in, at least, you know, at least when you do blink in like that and you're a Lion, it doesn't matter if you die very much. I mean, obviously it matters, but you'd rather not die, but at the same time, okay, I'm going to pause this. Pause this little note, put a pin drop in it, come back. Look, there's a massive team fight going on, and actually MiSeRy's not going to need to. Whoa, he was there. I didn't even see it. When did he jump in? Okay, so he finally blinks in at some point. There, he blinks there, and there is the Earth Spike blow onto Chessie to set up that additional damage. That's why Chessie died so fast. Chessie couldn't do anything about that. He couldn't escape. He had no time to do anything. That was a ton of damage, and it's still only a level 1 Finger of Death. Fortunately, MiSeRy going to be the subject to another avalanche toss from Limp. Moo's not going to be able to escape this either. Just barely. Just barely killed. So MiSeRy participating in that team fight, showing up late, and I hate that when you show up, you die, you come back, you show up for a team fight, and then you die again. That's very frustrating. But he did kill Chessie. His death was well worth that kill, assuming that they wouldn't have been able to get that kill. And I think they even forced the buyback there on the part of Tiny. Maybe Tiny was already, his death was almost up. It's going to be the Force Staff. He's going to smoke up here, looking for. And they have, let's see here, look at the vision game. They've got a ward up in top. He's not the only one buying wards here, by the way. He's not quite ward bitch. But they got a ward up top, I guess, to see any activity coming down the lane while Resolution or somebody is split pushing. Or Resolution is just pushing into that lane. They have a ward on their side of the river, defensive ward, not the best ward in the world. Sees maybe movement across the mid, highly unlikely. It's going to see maybe movement there in the jungle. It looks like they might have vision here with something going on in the jungle. MiSeRy kind of leading the charge, going to blink in. He's going to Earth Spike, not Hex. I guess, interesting. He hexes. I would have probably done the other way around. Blink Hex, because that was instantaneous. Instead, he blink Earth Spikes. There's a chance to potentially miss that Earth Spike. I guess he's good enough he doesn't need to do that. I have seen Pylai die play, and I think he pretty much just blink Hexes. I don't think he ever really blink Earth Spikes. The range is about the same. You can see there. I think it's identical. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why he didn't just Hex. Hex is 3 seconds. Earth Spike is 2.6 seconds. So you're going to get initial stun anyway in case there's a counter initiation. It's an extra second worth of stun. Maybe he wants the additional damage, but then he's going to get the damage if he just hexes and then Earth Spikes. So I don't know what the thought process on that was. Finally gets his Force Staff. That's awful nice. Decent amount of magic wand charges here. Staying in the battle with his boots. He's got his Blink Dagger and Force Staff. That's a nasty combination there on a Lion, because he can blink in Hex or Earth Spike, Force Staff out, or Force Staff a friend in, or Force Staff a friend out. So Lion TPing bottom. What's he going to do here? Is he going to blink? Oh, he blinked, and as soon as he blinked, Limp got the heck out of the way. And there's a dodge by the IO coming from the woods. And that was dangerous. You know, you know, in these scrum matches, you see a Lion coming, and the enemy doesn't budge. Because the enemy's like, oh, it's a Lion. What do I care? He can't kill me. And an IO... Oh, that's nasty relocate gank there on Beastmaster. But there's only Beastmasters. That's not the worst thing in the world. Another smoke purchase looking for another gank. Tiny, meanwhile, gets the Ags, making Tiny a really nasty hero. I'm going to have that cleave, that AoE cleave, really significant damage, basically turning into some kind of big, fat Sven running around. Look at that. Yep. Cleave damage is 50%. Scepter bonus range is 85. Building damage is 75% bonus building damage. Look at that. Bonus toss. There's a toss bonus to Scepter too. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that. So anyway, I know I was talking about that fight up there earlier, and I honestly don't remember what the heck I was talking about. So I'm going to come back to that later, if I remember it. Meanwhile, MiSeRy leading the charge in the jungle here. He does not have any wards. That burden has been shifted to someone else. I'm not sure who. Probably the Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix has turned into Ward Bitch because Phoenix has Hand of Midas and Lion does not. And Lion is going to be their initiator here. Moo's going to be secondary initiation. They're going to have Resolutions a tertiary or a secondary initiation. They have great initiation in this match. Great initiation. They want to start team fights. They've got massive AoE team fight damage, so the ability to start the team fight is often dependent upon the ability to catch enemies out. And MiSeRy's Blink Force Staff Hex, MiSeRy's Blink Force Staff Earth Spike, the Resolution, the Time Walk Chronosphere. I'm sure he's got a Blink Dagger at this point. Yeah, he's got a Blink Dagger as well. And then you got the Moo with the Blink Dagger, be able to come in there and Primal Roar somebody, some unsuspecting poor Complexity hero not knowing what's going on. You've got a situation where all of a sudden the enemy is either split up or they got one guy caught out, and if that one guy gets caught out, then all of a sudden Death Prophet's going to be able to ultimate Exorcism push the base. So Complexity has to play this very carefully, and my god, look at the damage to that tower from an Echo Sabered Agceptored Tiny. Say that 5 times fast. MiSeRy just sitting around the middle of his friend's jungle. He's not leading the charge at the moment. There's no vision. If he gets gone on, he gets got. And I'm not sure he wants to get got just yet. He'd like to get somebody get got, but he doesn't want to be the one to get got, so he wants to stay out of the get got range. I've been watching The Wire, folks. Sorry. All right, so there is him just sitting behind some trees. He is in blink range. This is the same setup we saw before. There was a ward to the right last time, and he cleared out that ward, and then he set up for some kind of blink hex. It caused a horrible team fight loss for them. Gave me the example of why I wouldn't have done that. But in another case, he actually did get a really great team fight result, thanks to, honestly, in large part, the Phoenix. Really amazing Phoenix Sunray damage coming out to save, and Soul Siphon from Weehaw, to save Weehaw and turn the fight during a Chronosphere when pretty much 3 people were Winter's Curse during a Chronosphere. So it's actually kind of cool to have seen that. That was a cool result. They smoke up. They're going to go right past this rune. They're not going to let anybody think that the rune was, they were there. Even the little hawk is smoked up. Isn't that cool? I didn't know you could do that. They're right past the Roshan, which I think was sitting in the pit. They're looking for a kill. Resolution starting off first. MiSeRy sitting in the background of this. I'm surprised he's not starting off. Maybe he wants to be the counter initiation now. Resolution looking to start. Beastmaster casting the Hawks, looking to see if he can find somebody. They're probably going to just retreat here to the Roshan. Not sure what's going on. They don't know where everybody is. Yeah, there's a Forge Spirit sitting in there. I'm sure Resolution will go in there and kill it. MiSeRy chilling on high ground. He is the backline flank defense here. He gets got, then everybody knows, and then they can at least get out of the way, or they can counter-initiate right on top. He would like to be able to blow somebody with the Finger of Death. He has level 2. That's going to be 725 magic damage. Complexity still completely missing off the map. Likely either in their jungle while they were away, or in their, in DC's jungle while DC was away, or in their own jungle trying to get a kill. So that's pretty scary. They're definitely sticking together as 5. They have great counter initiation, but Complexity's initiation's good too. They've got, you know, the Invoker to start if they wanted to. They've got the Axe to start, the Tiny to start. This is a 3 kind of, each team has 3 initiators. MiSeRy playing a part there. So MiSeRy purchased. Did he get an item? Yeah, he got the gem. So I think they're sensing here that there's some vision issues, and maybe they just want to get vision dominance. But so there's examples. So there's an invisible hero. There's the Hex into the Primor, into the Blau, onto Swindles before you can even get any kind of blade mail up. Does he even have a blade mail? And he does. So what a smart move. So right there, I thought Swindles was just playing a really terrible game, okay? I thought he was just being really bad. What actually happened was that MiSeRy, at the perfect moment, sensing that there were some issues with vision, really good game sense, got a Gem of Truce that used all his money basically to buy that, happened to walk past the Roshan pit, wondering what was going on with the enemy, saw him, saw Swindles, blinked in Hex Swindles, killed Swindles with basically two abilities, and then set up his team for Roshan. Now, Complexity's been pushing this mid tower, but MiSeRy is quick to respond. His teammates are right behind him. complexity at risk here of getting just run over as they try to leave the mid area. And they have to be careful. I'm pretty sure that's Death Prophet with the, somebody got the, no, it's in Resolution. Yeah, Resolution has the Aegis. Ensuring he's going to be able to get off a nice Chronosphere if he does get jumped. So he's probably going to be leading the charge here. That's my guess. He's definitely at the front of the line. MiSeRy is going to be chilling here on the flanks and the periphery, being able to counter-initiate. So now that you've got a Resolution Void with the Ags, the Aegis, he is going to be able to play more of a counter-initiation role, which I think is a more favorable position for MiSeRy, because then he can do a lot more. You know, his spells are low cooldown. He doesn't have huge cooldown spells. He wants to be able to get in the fight, hit people, get out. So here's the example. The Chronosphere jump in. His teammates are really far away, though. So finally, MiSeRy blinks in, gets in position. He's going to go ahead and Earth Spike, and then Blau Swindles. Right before Swindles gets the Blade Mail off, Swindles dies. So unfortunately, Swindles not quick there on the draw to be able to kill MiSeRy with his own damage, although he wouldn't have killed MiSeRy, it hurt him significantly, though. So now, once again, Swindlemelon's dead, and now this turns into a push for DC. Swindlemelon's, and you'd think he was out of position, but my gosh, that Void was so far ahead. Resolution was way ahead. MiSeRy going to go ahead and TP back to help stop this push against his base, this high ground push. He's going to come down. Also, you get a little money out of this. He could always use the money. First, he's going to start off. He wants the mana first. He's going to take the hits. Doesn't care about the hits. Got an Earth Spike, get a couple of last hits here, get some farm. But, you know, that's another example. So was Swindles out of position, or was Resolution just extremely aggressive there, knowing that MiSeRy would be there to follow? And so that's the combination. If MiSeRy is a follow-up hero, that means Resolution can just jump in, get a nice Chronosphere, and MiSeRy just basically blows somebody up during the position of the Chronosphere. An Earth Spike stun plus a Finger of Death. He saves the Hex for after the Chronosphere, and that's going to allow Void to right-click, what, 4, 5, 6 times? He's got an Echo Saber, so maybe 7 or 8 times. And then you've got, what, the right-clicks online as well, so that's going to be 200, and this is assuming, you know, all damage is unmitigated, 260 damage, plus 725 damage, so that's basically 1,000 damage. MiSeRy getting ready to get caught here. He's going to be careful. Limp was just in the woods looking for him. So that's about 1,000 damage just from those 2 spells alone. A couple of right clicks, that's 1,200 damage. Get the Resolution doing 150 damage times, you know, 8. So that's that's an additional 1,000 damage. So you're talking about 2,200 some damage during the condition of a Chronosphere, and then you got an additional Hex after that. So, and that's assuming none of his friends have shown up. That also assumes no interruptions as well, but that's a lot of damage. Who's going to be able to survive that? 1830 on the Axe. Now he's really tanky. But hey, he wasn't that tanky. He wasn't that tanky. He wasn't tanky enough. Because you know what? Goes right through armor. Blau. Blau goes through armor. So MiSeRy chilling here in the woods, letting the Phoenix lead the way, which is kind of unusual. Phoenix getting lots of money here, buying lots of wards. MiSeRy on the periphery, letting Resolution lead the way. Resolution still has that Aegis, I believe. The Chronosphere, I think, is back up. Gonna take a Splinter Blast to the face. MiSeRy sitting back here, worried about the initiation. There's they probably counter-initiate. No. Oh my gosh. Resolution gets tossed all the way back into the tier 4s, forcing his entire team, DC, to come way up much further. But MiSeRy is going to come up here and counter-initiate with the Blink, the Earth Spike. He's going to Hex somebody as soon as he gets a chance. He's going to probably Hex Swindles, and then Blau Swindles. There's the Hex. He going to Blau him. There's the Blau. Didn't get the Blade Mail up, but then there's the Cold Embrace to save. Not going to be able to kill Swindles on that one. Phoenix is probably going to dive. He's Icarus dive away. Can MiSeRy escape this? He's going to be able to blink and TP away. Same spot he did before. Nice position there, and he gets away. So the only kill they get, Complexity gets is on Weeha's Death Prophet. But they do some damage. If you look and see what's going on there, you know, the tower's gone. The ranged Rax is gone. Melee Rax was damaged a little bit, but that's going to heal up. 5 damage per second. So Lion, you know, participated there with a little bit of a Blau, the Finger of Death onto the Axe, and normally that's enough to blow up the Axe and to at least get him low enough to potentially be killed. But in that particular case, the Cold Embrace saved after the the Finger of Death, and it wasn't going to be enough. And here comes the Glimmer Cape out from the Lion. This is kind of what I predicted, a 4 staff, a Glimmer Cape, something like that. And then now this is even better combination. So if Resolution jumps in, Chronosphere, somebody, Lion's going to blink in. He's going to do offensive damage. He's going to Earth Spike to do additional damage and get some stun. Finger of Death, as much as Finger of Death wants. And if Resolution gets attacked by Complexity, then he's going to be able to Glimmer Cape Resolution, which is very nice. So MiSeRy up here in the high ground, he's got that gem, so I guess he's just trying to see, you know, see if he can get some of this vision here, kill any wards. He is just destroying the vision of Complexity. They have, right at this point, DC has complete vision control. They have complete domination over the map. Complexity is stuck in the base. This is the power of having gem, and he hasn't lost the gem. And he's got a Glimmer Cape. He's got a 4-step. He's got a Blink Dagger. He's going to be able to get the hell out if he needs to, and he stays in the periphery. So at any more now, he is definitely going to be in the periphery. I doubt he's going to be initiating unless he knows exactly what's going to be behind the enemy, or unless he sees an enemy like, I don't know, the Invoker, Chesty on the Invoker, a really high value hero. Even then, I'm still going to be a little surprised if he does it, because he needs to keep that gem. He needs to be a counter initiation. He needs to have the opportunity to Glimmer Cape. A friend of mine just texted me and was asking whether or not I ever considered casting the same game, multiple heroes for the same game, and that's a good idea. I have considered that, actually. It's a great idea. I thought people maybe get bored. Same game over and over and over again. But then again, this really is 10 different games. That's what's kind of cool about this. MiSeRy drawing ridiculous lines. Hey, get back to the base!
Is under attack.
Gotta be careful, there's people sleeping back here. Anyway, MiSeRy taking control. He must be the captain. That or he's like the in-game captain. I don't know. Maybe they have a different drafter. I don't know. I really don't pay attention to who DC's captains are. He probably is the captain. You know, captains usually play these kind of scrubby little support heroes that just kind of cast a few buttons and win. Meanwhile, letting people like Weehaw and Resolution, the carry, and the mid player do all the work. So, Moo, the offlaner, typical offlaner. Saksa, the typical support. I don't think Saksa is the captain. So I'm guessing MiSeRy is the captain here. I didn't know that. But yeah, maybe I'll cast this game from Weehaw's perspective. I'll cast it from Resolution's perspective. And we'll have like a 360-degree viewpoint, right? So we can see from everybody's perspective exactly what happened. You know, it is in fact one game, but in so many perspectives. So MiSeRy actually is a perfect example to set up Chronosphere into a Blink Dagger, into a Blau, Earth Spike Blau. Resolution's going to have to get the hell out of dodge, but MiSeRy in a good position. He's probably going to go ahead and get some mana on the limp. I'm surprised. Okay, there was a lag there. Well, that's interesting. I don't know why MiSeRy was questioning that, because he was just standing there too. Maybe that was server lag that MiSeRy didn't experience. Interesting. Whatever it is, he did not like that. MiSeRy was like, what the hell? What the hell? What are you doing? In the keywords of Kevin Bacon, what the hell? I said, what the hell? Anyway, Kevin Bacon has many great words, folks. And what the shit? That's another great Kevin Bacon quote. Both from Tremors, by the way. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon is never complete without wonderful, silly, stupid stuff like that. So MiSeRy actually chooses to jump away. He sees Swindle Melon's coming in after him. Earth spikes to try to get away. He is never going to get away from this. Toss of an Alpha Wolf, but then he Glimmer Capes. Is he going to be able to escape from this? He's got the axe dot on top of him, preventing the Blink Dagger away, so he's going to die anyway. That's unfortunate. Hey, Swindles did something. Good job. You killed a lion. Okay, so what was that? Got another smoke. Looks like the Phoenix, Socks on the Phoenix, is a designated ward bitch, and it looks like Lion is a designated smoker. He appreciates the smoke. MiSeRy is the smoker here. That's it was 420? Is 420? I'm pretty sure it was 420 there. So nice time for a smoke, I guess. By the way, I do not participate in 420. bad for you, folks. It's bad for you. Unless you're ganking with it, in which case, smoke them if you got them. So they're chasing down Swindles here. They're looking for the... And then Moo's finally going to be able to get in position and cast the Primal Roar. MiSeRy going to get in position in time. I don't see MiSeRy anywhere. You can tell that he's trying to get out there, but he is slowly making his way. Going to force step. He's going to blink. Is he going to make it in time? He's going to make it in time. Big team fight coming up. Question is, what's he going to be able to contribute? Weehaw pops the ultimate. So does the... Here comes the Chronosphere. There's going to be an Earth Spike. Is he going to cast the Blow? Is he going to blow somebody up? There's the Blow. And I think he actually got blades mailed into that. He's going to Mana Draining Handskin. Meanwhile, Weehop on the front lines pushing through. They lose vision of somebody here. They don't know who was there. So MiSeRy just going to go ahead and Earth Spike Roshan, pop the Roshan Lincoln Sphere, to be able to give his friends an additional bonus. You probably get in here on this one because the enemy is pretty much dead. There's no hope of complexity contestants. These need to be out of the way. You're just going to get the gold and the experience, and he's going to take the Ancients. And this is not exactly a stack of Ancients, but he'd like to have a little bit of money. It's like he's getting some farm priority here, so I'm curious to know either he's just taking it, or maybe he's getting ready to get a big item. He's got 1,800 gold. What does he get next? Eggs? Is he going to get eggs? Oh, there's a courier. I don't think it's going to him. Oh, it's going to him. What's he got? Probably wards. Something on there. It's on the courier. So the courier MiSeRy. Yeah, he's got some farm priority here. You can tell they're shifting into farm mode. If I mean, it sounds to me like maybe Ags would be the next big item. He's probably going to pick up he's got something coming from the base, so it's not going to be the booster. Okay, so he just picks up Observer Ward from there. He's going to go Observer Ward this area, get some vision. I guess that's just Roche control. I mean, what is it, Roche like on a 6? What's the timer for Roche? So if he puts that down now, he'll be able to see Roche when it responds. Is that what that is? So is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7-minute respawn. These things last how long? I don't know how long they last. 5 minutes, 3. I don't really understand that one. I don't really get that one, folks. Instead, they smoke up. He's going on a ward mission here. He's going to reestablish some control. He actually died and lost the gem, so that's going to give that over to Complexity, and they're going to be able to counter ward here. He puts one high ground using the Hawk as vision during his smoke, so nobody's going to be able to see anything. He buys another gem. He realizes the gem wars are on. This is mutually assured gem destruction. He needs to be able to participate. Actually, Moo picks up the gem. Saving Lion for saving his money. They're definitely getting ready to pick up a big item here. I'm guessing that's going to be the Ag Scepter. The Blow factor from the Finger of Death with the Ag Scepter is just stupid powerful. It's just like ridiculous. But we'll see. There's the farm priority. Boy, he is way far forward. They're trying to maybe baiting that one out. No, Complexity doesn't take that bait. The Resolution's going to jump in, try to push it even further, and try to get Complexity to respond. Hits the tower a few times, nothing happens. Chessie finally casts Tornado. Resolution to get Glimmer Cape by MiSeRy. Going to get a few more tower hits on here, trying to get rid of this tower. They're going to kill it, and there's no response from Complexity. Limp finally jumps in, but that's not going to be enough. Weehaw looking for probably the Exorcism here to finish these racks. He's going to cast that soon. They're in a great position. Weehaw already has the Aegis. He's just going to sit up here and cast. There's the Exorcism, trusting he's going to be able to survive the instant response. And what's MiSeRy do? MiSeRy looking for an opportunity. He stays out. There's the Earth Spike into nothing because there's a relocate save. MiSeRy jumps in, gets Z-Freak with the Hex. Blows Z-Freak. There's a dead Winter Wyvern. I don't know if the Winter Wyvern cast his ultimate during that time. I think he did. Sox are going to head cast his ultimate. The Egg blowing up, not blowing anybody up, but just stunning Limp. Meanwhile, Weehaw taking out the towers. There's going to be an Axe call on the Swindles. What's MiSeRy going to do in response? Not much. He has no mana. He's going to Force Staff. Was he just going to take the aggression? He's just taking the aggression. That's his job now. He has no mana. He can't contribute. He can't even get off, I think, that little mana drain. And so instead, he takes the aggression from the enemies, gets them to focus on him. He had nothing to contribute. What a fantastic play, allowing his team to take the time to either regain their footing or kill or whatever it is. Unfortunately, Weehaw going to get killed here, and Sox are going to get killed. This is going to turn into a kind of a wipe here for DC. Not a full wipe, but Weehaw's going to die twice, but the racks are dead. Objective is completed. Who cares if they die? Although, I should say who cares, because this Tiny is going to cream these creeps. I mean, this is going to be creep soup. Cream of creep. Look how fast he's going to do damage. He has an egg. Or what does he have? He has a Moonshar, which he's going to put on himself right now. He's going to pick up that Echo Saber back again. That's going to be a huge amount. So in 1 second, he's going to produce 600 plus basically 700 damage. Like 1 second, 700 damage. Boom. And that's not a crit. No crits involved. So, and that's going to be 700 damage on top of a -5 armored hero. So that's disgusting. That is a lot of damage. So you got to be careful. You lose a fight here, and Tiny comes and pushes through your entire base. It's like some kind of just unyielding juggernaut of destruction that will come use his giant wooden tree to destroy a rock tower. I don't really understand how that happens, but it's a game of Magic. Nobody really knows. That's kind of the fun of it. So here's the high ground defense. We'll see what MiSeRy does. He goes ahead and Glimmer Capes himself. There's the Earth Spike into a Primal Roar onto Limp. What's he going to contribute here? He gets caught in the avalanche. MiSeRy avoiding the tornado. Also, that is interesting. He is going to go. It looked like he was getting rid of it. Oh, okay. There's just a Hex on the Handskin there. Not a great kill. Handskin, I guess, saved somebody and then relocated somebody away and then died on the way back in. So Lion's got a full health regen here. He's got Cheese. Instant health gain. Full health. 0 to full. Probably won't ever need it, but if he needs to be able to get the blow off, he can do that. He can get killed in a stun, though, so that's... He's only got 1,100 health, and he's only got 8 armor. This guy has basically no magic resistance. If he doesn't get a Glimmer Cape off, he is so dead. I don't know if that Cheese is going to help, but maybe it will. Maybe that's the difference. Anyway, he's going to pick up Solar Crest. He's got close to the money for it. Yes, again, he's the smoker. Chain Smoker. That's what I'm going to call MiSeRy. Chain Smoker. He's pushing up here aggressively. He knows Complexity is basically moved back to their base. He doesn't have a gem, though, so he does need to be careful. He also is not warding up. He's actually escorting, I guess, Saksa on the Phoenix. Wants to back up. Now that he's got the ward up there, he knows what's going on. He's not putting it in the same position every time. It's not a smart idea. He does have that smoke. He's ready to go. His teammates are ready to push. All the ults are up. He is maybe waiting for this team fight to get the... Oh, okay. He's waiting for his team fight to get maybe the crest. He could have already purchased the initial anti-arm riding, what that stupid thing is called. Talisman of Evasion. Or that's his item. I forget what that stupid item is called. But he's already got enough mana to get the initial item part of the crest. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten that. I guess he doesn't have any room space, the space in his inventory. So he's going to just wait until he uses this Cheese or the TP, and then he'll have the room. So here's the setup. Weehaw going to go ahead and cast Exorcism, same thing as last time. Moo going to go in, actually against Yules. He almost ulted Limp while during the Yules. That would have been very bad. The question is, what is MiSeRy doing here? MiSeRy, I don't even know what he did. I'm going to have to rewatch that. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're watching Lion. It's hard to see, like that's on player perspective. You know, where is he looking? It's hard to see where Lion is. But he earth spikes a couple of creeps. He sits up here on the high ground. He's sitting on the stairs. He's just waiting for the initiation to start, his team fight to start, which is going to be started by Weehaw on the Exorcism. Moo jumps in. MiSeRy walks in after Moo. Earth spikes as Limp was coming back down from his Yules. He's paying attention to what's going on. He actually gets his mana stolen from that very nice Invoker EMP. He's going to have to figure out a way to get mana. He actually, I'm sure he got all his mana back. Cheese, maybe? And there is, unfortunately, a Winter's Grasp onto Saksa. Their Swindle is going to get an Earth Spike into a Blow, but then there's a Blade Mail, so he actually was, I think he blowed before the Blade Mail. And there's a Hex onto Chessie to set up some additional damage. And finally, Lion dies, so he did use the Cheese at some point, and I think he used it for mana, which is actually fascinating. That's not a bad use for it, because once he blows all his stuff, he doesn't have any mana regen. He doesn't have his little magic stick. So, there's the damage onto Moo. Nobody's going to be able to they're not going to be able to kill Limp here. Instead, Weeha's going to die. Too much damage coming out from Limp on that Tiny. Just ridiculous. Lion picks up some Boots of Travel. You see there's a base race situation potentially going to go on. So everybody needs to have the ability to TP out. Also, he doesn't want to have, he needs this extra space in his inventory. He needs to have that TP space saved. He's going to combine the TP and the boots. He doesn't really need this triangle boots anymore. I mean, he's not just running around trying to stay in lane anymore. He really just needs to get the ability to travel around and move quickly from one position to another, if necessary, base race. Or, more likely for him, you know, get into the enemy base and then TP back to his base to get some stuns, because he doesn't have the damage to contribute to any kind of base race. Gonna get an ether lens. What's that? What are you looking at there, Lion? Gets a Yules instead. Really wants that Yules. He's not gonna get the Solar Crest. He's got it queued up there. There's the Blink. There's the Hex. He's gonna wait. There's the Earth Spike. You know, he's thinking about blowing. He's not gonna do that. The Chronosphere is gonna go on to Chessie. Is Chessie going to get blowed? No, because Chessie's got his BKB up. Winter Grasp onto Moo. MiSeRy going to die. Deafening Blast into, I don't even know where the heck MiSeRy just went. So he's stuck in the middle. He's coming down on top of the Chronosphere. He finally fell after the Chronosphere came up. And he got Yules himself. Trying to avoid that, he actually forced Steph. Glimmer capes himself away. Fantastic move. He's going to be able to come back into this fight and do some good. He's going to blink and then blow. And he almost kills somebody. I'm sure that's going to do some damage. Are they going to be able to follow that up? No. 33 seconds left on the Blau factor. That's going to be fine, and he's going to be able to get out. Got that mana regen, or a health regen on those triangle boots, which he's going to replace here. He's already picked up the other boots. He's going to pull them up to himself now. Probably sell those triangle boots. And the reason not to, he's not going to be able to put them back on. Doesn't want to put them back on. Well, that's interesting. I don't know why he is not getting his Boots of Travel. Maybe he's trying to... Maybe this is secret. Maybe he's picking it up now. I could see a potential play where you don't reveal the Boots of Travel because you don't want the enemy to know you have them. But at the same time, you need them. You don't want to wait. You need to be able to TP in a moment's notice. Maybe he's doing that. Maybe that's the strat. Just TP only when you need to. Limp coming in here, wrecking the base and the Tiny getting Yules up. I'm not sure if that was, there's like so many Yules here, I'm not sure if that was what he did. There's going to be an Earth Spike. Winter's Grasp going to be on somebody. He's going to right-click Winter's Grasp a little bit, or the Winter Wyvern a little bit. What's he going to do? He's going to take some mana from Swindles. He's going to Hex up Swindles. Is he going to blow somebody? Doesn't have the mana, going to have to go back to base. Got some mana, going to come back out is pretty much instantaneously. Swindles is going to die anyway. Question is, can they catch anybody? Looks like Tiny going back around. He's looking for a round 2. Meanwhile, MiSeRy's reloaded here. Restocked and reloaded. You got to be careful. He's going to be able to force staff, blink forward. Moo going to be able to get the start on somebody? I don't think so. He does have the Primer War. MiSeRy avoiding an EMP, covering the escape. Is this going to be it? There's full staff here, full crew on DC up and ready to go, except for the Saksa ultimate, which is going to, I think Saksa at this point has an Ags. Now, the crazy thing about the Phoenix ultimate, I mean, obviously it's going to do a lot of damage to begin with, but a Phoenix ultimate with an Ags means that Phoenix can, like a Tusk, pull people into his egg and save them. What a ridiculously OP spell to begin with. Add in a ridiculously OP saving mechanism, and like, why would you never, like, why would you pick any other hero? I don't know. It scales amazingly at all stages of the game. So Lion, again, not revealing this Boots of Travel. That is so fascinating. He's going to stay out of this one. He needs to be sure to be able to counter-initiate. Weeha pops the Exorcism. Saksa even staying out of this one. Resolution staying there. All the Initiators staying out of this one. The Resolution doesn't probably need to be in the way to be able to get an ultimate off. Moose staying out to better counter-initiate. MiSeRy going to go high ground, at least get the vision, make sure there's not going to be any flank. If he dies in the flank, that's fine. He's MiSeRy. He's a crappy little lion, you know? So... Kill Roshan, Limp on Tiny, Swindles leading the charge. Looks like MiSeRy's going to lead the push back, but he's going to blink. He's going to get a Hex. There's a Lotus Orb though, so he's going to eat a Hex. And then Moo actually Primal Rewards the Lotus Orb and ends up getting Primal Reward himself in response. Looks like MiSeRy's going to take some money from Limp. That's not going to matter much. What's we going to do here? Limp getting think almost killing somebody, but there's going to be the save. Again, the save, which is ridiculous, from Saksa on the Phoenix Egg. MiSeRy just kind of marching around, making sure to protect his allies. This is a huge creep wave coming in, and these are big creeps. So this is going to need to have some serious attention paid to it. Meanwhile, you know Complexity is going to go for that push. Here's the tiny push coming in. What can a Lion do when there's a BKB on a big fat rock guy like that? There's the Blau. BKB worn off. He's going to help kill that Tiny. That Tiny is dead for 95 seconds. He doesn't have a buyback. MiSeRy's going to go ahead and jump high ground. Using the force step from the Glimmer Cape. He's going to go ahead and Yules up. He's going to Earth Spike after the Yules. He's going to take the mana so he can do something else. And he uses that mana for a Hex, and it's a kill. Meanwhile, he's got a smoke. He's ready to smoke. He's Glimmer Capes away. I'm not sure why. He's going to go after Chessie. Very smart. Disappears from the map. Chessie doesn't know what's going on. Doesn't see anything on the map coming in. He's going to potentially be able to come out here and Hex and Earth Spike. So again, Lion not revealing he has boots of travel. Very fascinating. Although maybe now that the allies start producing the nice boots of travel, maybe he's just going to go ahead and pick it up. Maybe he wants the additional tranquil boots. He just wants to keep using them. Maybe he's just going to wait so that if he ever does, maybe the plan is if he dies, he has the boots of travel. He can buy back and have the boots of travel and TP in. Maybe in his mind, that's the only circumstance where he does that. And I guess that kind of makes sense, because if his friends are there pushing, he will be there with them. And the only reason he would need to TP would be because he's got a significant base advantage. Well, that's... Although their tier 4s are gone. So this is actually a significant base advantage. He would not TP back. Or, yeah, he would probably not TP back. He would just die back. He'd run into he can always run into the enemy fountain, blow himself up, and then be back in the base if he has a buyback. So that's the one potential benefit. I guess he technically doesn't need to reveal those boots that way. So that is nice. And if the enemy is counting, doing their math and looking at the potential respawn and the time for Lion to get back, they may not realize that they kill Lion, all of a sudden Lion is back. So MiSeRy may end up sacrificing himself like he did the last time. Pretty good little trick there. Really good player. MiSeRy's a fantastic player. Blake smokes. God, this guy is hot. He is on fire. He's smoking it up like a chain smoker does. He's got his friends going to come in here. Resolution going to lead the way. Time walk forward. Get ready to do a Chronosphere way out of the way. He's way forward. Going to catch somebody out of position trying to push this mid lane. Looks like nobody is there. Is there a ward? Somebody put some wards down. I guess that's going to be the Phoenix. They're going to pop in here and try to kill this Rax. If they kill this Rax, that is all but melee creep. There is the Chronosphere on top of Chessie. Blau on top of Chessie, followed by an Earth Spike. Looks like MiSeRy caught in an avalanche. There is the relocate out. Resolution refreshes. Going to kill the Chessie and during the buyback. Looks like MiSeRy is trying to take some mana from Z-Freak, but Z-Freak Winter's Curse is somebody. MiSeRy back in the game, has a little bit of mana. What's he going to do here? Getting the Deafening Blast. He's just kind of walking around. He doesn't have a Blau anymore, but 15 seconds he does. God, Finger Death cooldown is so low. He actually blinks away. That looks like the call is to retreat. He doesn't want to be the one to die here. Avoids the tornado. Everybody back, everybody back. We're missing the Weehaw. Weehaw is dead. We need to get back as quickly as possible to defend against this. We need every last person we can possibly get. There's no way we're going to be able to finish up that push, kill anything, so they really need to get back as soon as possible. They can at least delay the push, and there, he's going to probably blink away from that. Yeah, he forced us away from that, because Blimp could have just TP'd and then blinked and then cast Avalanche and then killed MiSeRy. What an exciting game, folks. What an exciting Game 5. Even I am excited about this game. And there's the blink forward. He's going to Hex, Blau, Earth Spike, Destroy. He's going to take some mana from a creep because he needs mana. He does this all so quickly. So quickly. Ooh, MiSeRy saw that coming there. And there's the potential TP away from the... Oh, and he actually blinks forward. TP away from... damn, IO was actually interrupted by MiSeRy there. Very nice. So IO did not escape the... Looks like Limp is dead. MiSeRy kind of walking around, avoiding the tornado here. Is he going to do anything to low over? Nobody's going to go back and get some mana. He doesn't have any mana. And his teammates are dying. Though the base race has begun, looks like the tier 4 is gone. The creeps are on the enemy tower. What's MiSeRy going to do to stop this? It's up to MiSeRy. It's up to Resolution. Resolution has a Chronosphere. Sunstrike onto Limp. Sunstrike continuing. There's an Earth Spike doing a little bit of additional damage. Relocate save onto Limp. There's a Relocate sitting right there, as we're going to do. We're going to be able to participate in this fight. There's the Blau onto Hanskin. The Relocate is going to be dead. Nope, he actually gets out of the way. And he's just going to right-click Swindles here. And Swindles is going to have the Blade Mail and the Lotus Orb, which is going to stop any significant activity on that. Hanskin already so low there. Hanskin's going to die thanks to MiSeRy in part. There's a massive Deafening Blast up north. He's going to have to steal some mana from Creep. He doesn't have enough mana to participate in this fight. One of the problems with this, looks like Moo's going to blink forward. He's going to get a Primal War onto Limp. There's the damage coming out of the Phoenix. MiSeRy, I think, oh, he actually blinked down and got a Hex onto Z-Freak. He's going to prevent Z-Freak from being able to participate in this fight. He actually Glimmer Capes away. Is he going to be saved by the Phoenix Egg? I think Phoenix Egg can only save a couple of people. It's not going to be enough. MiSeRy's going to blink forward, cast the Earth Spike, prevent Swindles from being able to do anything else. He might die to these creeps. Meanwhile, Weehaw TPs into the enemy base. They are not going to be able to stop that. That's an Exorcism damage. Resolution pops in as well, jumps across, going to get a few hits on the base, and that is going to be the game. MiSeRy trailing behind, trying to get that last hit. He wanted that last hit. He deserved the last hit. What a fantastic game. Complexity, putting everything they had into this, but just not able to pull it out. And DC, you know, it's. I think when you see a Lion pick up, you know, I play Lion many games, and my friends play Lion. One of my friends plays Lion a lot, and I mean, neither of us are the best heroes and the best players in the world. Neither of us are heroes, I promise. None of us are the best players in the world, but we really still don't know how to play Lion that well. And I think you look at Lion and say, well, what does he do? He's got a stun and a hex, but I think what you see here is in the right hands, Lion is a formidable foe. And also with the right setup. You know, Lion, he has the ability to basically blow somebody up, or at least get them really low. And that's a really nice thing to be able to do. And I think a lot of people save, for example, they save the Finger of Death for a like a last hit. You know, oh, let's save it. Oh, no, last hit. But this changes the fight. When you have a Blink Dagger on a Lion and you immediately blink in Hex, not going anywhere, you can then, either you blink in or you Earth Spike, and then you Finger of Death, or you blink and you Hex, and then you Finger of Death, and then you Earth Spike if you need to. And if he's the one blinking in, then you know, that forces the enemy to go onto him, and if the enemy's going onto him and casting spells on him, then Faceless Void can then secondarily blink and Chronosphere right on top of Lion, protecting Lion, but also, you know, basically getting these kills with the Phoenix, who can ultimate. You can use the Sun Ray damage, Beastmaster, and by the way, if that isn't enough, Beastmaster can then blink in as a tertiary initiation. So this is a really cool kind of try initiation from DC, and you can see how well Complexity played against that with their try initiation with the Axe and the Tiny, and I guess more like a double initiation role there. Invoker really wasn't an initiator, but he did have the Tornado. He can do that, but the two kind of melee cores blinking forward was going to be Swindles and Limp. In this case, MiSeRy was like a throwaway. He wasn't a melee core, but he was kind of a throwaway. Faceless Void was primarily the initiator, but then Lion could counter-initiate, or they could switch. Lion could initiate, and Faceless Void can counter-initiate, or they could have the Beastmaster initiate. They could get the initiation pretty much no matter what was going on, and with Beastmaster, it was a Primal Roar. With Lion, it was an Earth Spike, followed by a Finger of Death. Faceless Void, it was a Chronosphere, and later on, it was a Chronosphere followed by another Chronosphere. He got Jesse twice. What a fantastic play there by Resolution. You know, but MiSeRy's contribution to this game on the line, it just shows you what a Lion can do, and I'm really glad I casted this, because last Lion I watched was Pili Die losing a game with Secret. Not very fun to watch, because he basically just sat around in the back lines and wasn't able to do anything. But Lion, in this particular case, instrumental, always blinking forward, always staying way far behind, so he doesn't get ganked, and then once the team fight starts, or to start that team fight against a hero that they know they need to kill, he blinks forward, he gets the Hex or the Earth Spike. I'm not quite sure which reasons he had for choosing which one over the other, depending on the situation, but he did one of the two, and if it was Swindles, he always Earth Spiked and then Fingered of Death. Before Swindles could start swinging, before Swindles could basically turn around and call and then get Lion. or Blade Mail. Blade Mail was on Swindles, but he could hardly ever get it off because there was an Earth Spike, a blink into a Hex, or a blink into an Earth Spike, and then an Ultimate. And then somebody else came in and just beat him a little bit more, and he was dead. There's so much AoE here. I mean, look at the AoE Primal Roar, AoE Exorcism, AoE Faceless Void Chronosphere, AoE Phoenix Egg, and you know, the Lion MiSeRy didn't even need the Ag Scepter on Lion to produce additional AoE damage. I don't think, maybe didn't have the mana to support that, but he was in every single fight. He was in there. He was constantly hexing. He was constantly earth spiking. He was constantly mana draining. And I think that mana drain is actually kind of one of the secrets to his success here. When I play Lion, I don't realize just how. I mean, I kind of cast all my stuff, and by the way, really slowly, terribly slow. It's so sad, my speed compared to somebody like MiSeRy's speed. And I'm like, you know, cast, and he's like, cast. It's just so a different level. It's like a quantum leap forward in speed when you got this player playing a hero like Lion, and you can tell that the speed matters when it comes to Lion. That instant hex save up there ended up getting a kill on Limp in that top left corner back when Lion was searching out the IO. That was amazing to watch. That was very fast. So you put your guy with the fast reaction speed on Lion because he's blinking around. He's mana draining between these spells when he needs the mana drain. And that's part of the thing. I think if you practice with the Lion a little bit, maybe in like some bot match, maybe with the cheat codes on, you can just blink. I guess we can't have the cheat codes on, but no cooldowns. Because you just kind of practice. You cast your Earth Spike, you cast your this, you cast your that, and then you see how much mana you have left, and then you go ahead and mana drain. And I guess he can get, if he uses his Finger of Death, that's probably when he knows he needs to mana drain. But then again, he could be mana draining when he has enough mana left over to cast one more stun or one more hex. So, and I don't know if he's just that fast. I don't know if he just knows. I don't know if he just casts, like he Fingers of Death and then automatically begins to cast. I think looked for that next spell to cast, the next mana drain hero, just then. He Fingers of Death, mana drains, and then he looks for the next hex. Kind of like a shifting priority list going on with the Lion. Really cool play to watch. I kind of picked the items here. I guess I'm smart. I didn't expect the Yules, but that's nice because that allows him to have a spell. I'm not sure. Maybe he uses that during the duration of a Blade Mail. Maybe that was the idea. Maybe he uses that during the duration of, I don't think that goes through BKB, so I'm not sure, sets up the Earth Spike maybe? I don't know. That's kind of an interesting pickup to me. It is an interrupt, which is nice, and maybe that's part of the reason why. Interrupt perhaps a Swindles jumping in and getting ready to just whack people with this, passive ability there, doing pure damage to everybody. That might be a really good counter to him late game. Just Yule Scepter him, and he's not going to be doing that when he's up in the Yule Scepter. But the build, I think I got pretty well. He's 6, 8, and 20. 6 kills on a Lion, I think, is about all you can really expect out of a Lion to game. Low level, he got levels as much as he could. He actually ended up farming the off lane. Keep in mind, this was a safe lane turn to off lane Lion. He intelligently took the off lane once he realized the Beastmaster was going to go Iron Talon. The Faceless Void was doing fine in the safe lane. Phoenix just kept pulling to make sure the Faceless Void was protected, and the Death Prophet had the mid. So Lion just kind of soaked up the additional experience. Tri-lanes are tough because you have 3 people sharing experience, and I think he realized he was just one too many there. And so he went over to the off lane, and that was fine. Nobody really bothered him. So maybe a mistake there for the enemy, for complexity, not to take out the MiSeRy. So, ladies and gentlemen, you were just treated to a wonderful Lion game. I hope that was much better. It makes up for the terrible Winter Wyvern game that I casted. I actually cast as a Winter Wyvern game with Saxa, and it was such a one-sided game against complexity that it wasn't very good. But you can go back and watch that if you want. He did do a good job in the early laning phase, and maybe that set up all he needed for the win. So Digital Chaos goes on. They are in the TI. They're now part of TI6. I'd love to see them now when you're getting ready to watch TI6, you can see what MiSeRy's been doing on his Lion. Whether I cast Weehaw in the same game or Resolution in the same game, I don't know. It depends how much time I have. It's a good suggestion for my friend out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know how to play Lion now if you didn't know before. So good luck on your Lions and have fun.